700,000 miles on a Volkswagen. Not a rebuild, not a miracle engine, just a few German secrets that most owners either don't know or don't bother doing. And the crazy part? The difference between a VW that dies at 120,000 and one that pushes 700,000 is usually not luck. It's a boring routine done consistently. Today, I'm going to show you the 9 best German secrets, a practical checklist you can actually follow, the one fluid rule Germans don't break, the warm-up habit that saves turbo engines, and the maintenance timing that prevents the most expensive failures. So if you want your VW to last, save you money, and stay reliable for the long haul, let's start with the German secrets right now. German secret number 9. Treat your coolant like a warning light. Because on a VW it basically is. Most engines don't die overnight, they give signs first. And on Volkswagens, one of the clearest signs is the coolant level slowly dropping. Here's the German mindset. Coolant doesn't just disappear. If your VW is low, that's information. Something is leaking, something is weakening, or something is about to get expensive if you ignore it. And we've all done it. You open the hood, see it's a little low, top it off, and move on. That's the mistake. Topping it off is fine temporarily, but the real secret is, don't stop there. Because needs coolant once turns into needs coolant every month. And then one day, you're overheating in traffic and paying for repairs you never planned for. Do it the right way. Check coolant only when the engine is cold, then pay attention to clues. Sweet smell, damp spots under the car, crusty residue near hoses or the reservoir, or a level that keeps dropping over time. And one non-negotiable German rule: use the correct VW spec coolant and don't mix random types. Mixing can create sludge and cooling issues that turn a simple problem into a big one. Best habit: if your VW starts needing coolant, treat it like an early check engine light. Track it, find the cause early, and your VW stays stable, predictable, and reliable for the long haul. German secret number 8. Never cheap out on oil. Use the exact VW spec and shorten the interval if you want big mileage. A lot of people hear German car and immediately think expensive repairs. But the truth is, most expensive VW repairs start with one cheap decision: wrong oil, or oil changes that are done too late. Here's what Germans understand. A Volkswagen engine, especially TSY/TFSI turbo engines, runs hot, runs tight, and depends on oil quality more than most cars. So the secret isn't just change your oil. The secret is use the correct VW-approved spec oil and don't treat the interval like a suggestion. Because yes, your manual might say 10,000 miles, but if you want your VW to be a 300,000, 500,000, even 700,000 mile car, you don't stretch oil. You protect the engine. Use the exact VW spec, not just same weight, the actual approval spec. Use a quality filter every time. And if you do short trips, heavy traffic, hot weather, or spirited driving, bring the interval down. Oil degrades faster in real-world driving than the perfect conditions manuals assume. And here's the part most people miss. Old oil doesn't just get dirty. It starts losing its ability to protect against heat and deposits. That's how you end up with sludge, timing system wear, turbo issues, and all the problems people blame on German engineering. If you do nothing else from this secret, remember this line: your VW doesn't need oil. It needs the right oil, on time, every time. German secret number 7. Never floor it on a cold engine. Warm it correctly, then drive it like you mean it. This one sounds simple, but it's one of the biggest reasons some Volkswagens feel tired at 120,000. while others still feel strong at 300,000 and beyond. Most people think warming up means sitting parked and idling forever. Germans don't do that. The real secret is how you warm up while driving. When your VW is cold, the oil is thicker, clearances are tighter, and everything, turbo, bearings, seals, needs a minute to come up to proper operating conditions. If you start the car and immediately drive hard, you're basically asking the engine and turbo to work at full load before the protection system is fully awake. So the German rule is, start the car, give it a few seconds to stabilize, then drive normally, but smoothly, for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Not slow like a grandma, just controlled. Keep revs moderate, avoid heavy boost, no full throttle pulls, no racing to beat traffic lights. Because here's what people don't realize. Your coolant temp can look normal before your oil is truly ready. The engine might feel warm, but the oil still needs time. And oil is what protects your turbo and internal engine parts. Then, once you're warmed up, do the second part that most owners never do. Don't baby it forever. Germans also believe engines like to be driven properly once warm. Occasional strong, clean acceleration, when fully warmed, helps prevent lazy buildup and keeps things functioning the way they were designed. So the balance is gentle when cold, confident when warm. If you can master just this habit, you'll reduce wear, protect the turbo, and stop doing that slow, invisible damage that shows up years later as VW problems. German secret number 6. Don't ignore small warning signs. Fix the cheap problem before it becomes the expensive one. This is where German owners are completely different. They don't wait for the car to fail. They treat little symptoms like a message. A tiny oil spot on the driveway, a coolant level that drops a bit, a rough idle for 5 seconds on cold start, a new vibration that wasn't there last week. Most people keep driving and hope it goes away. On a VW, that's how a $40 fix turns into a $1,400 repair. Because Volkswagens don't usually break with one dramatic event. They break by letting one small issue hang around long enough to damage something else. A minor leak becomes low fluid. Low fluid becomes heat or friction, and then suddenly the car is unreliable. So the German secret is simple. The moment something changes, you deal with it quickly, before it has time to spread. If you want 300,000, 500,000, 700,000 mileage, you can't be the person who says, "I'll fix it later." Later is always more expensive. German secret number 5. Never gamble with timing service. Do it early and do it right. If there's one place VW owners lose the most money, it's here, because people treat timing like a future problem. And on a Volkswagen, timing is not something you wait on. Here's the German rule. If your engine has a timing belt, you replace it before it becomes a risk. Not when it snaps, not when it starts making noise. You do it on schedule or slightly early, because when a timing belt fails, it usually doesn't just stop the car. It can take the engine with it. And if your VW uses a timing chain, don't assume you're safe. Chains don't have a simple replace at X miles rule like belts, but they do give signs when they're getting tired, startup rattles, rough cold starts, and codes that people ignore until it's too late. Germans don't ignore those signs. They treat them like a deadline. The other part of this secret is doing it properly. Timing work is not the place for cheapest shop or mystery parts. Quality parts, correct installation, and if the job requires it, you replace the supporting pieces that fail with age. Because redoing timing work twice is how people burn cash. If you want your VW to be a high-mileage car, timing service isn't optional, it's insurance. German secret number 4. Use top-tier fuel and keep the intake system clean. Buildup is a silent power killer on VWs. A Volkswagen can feel perfect for years, and then slowly starts losing punch, getting rough at idle and drinking more fuel. Most people blame the car. Germans look at one thing first: buildup. Many VW engines, especially direct injection turbos, are prone to carbon buildup over time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's gradual, so you get used to the car getting slightly worse, month by month, until it feels normal. But that buildup can mess with airflow and efficiency, and it can make the engine work harder than it should. The German habit is simple. Don't feed it junk, and don't let deposits become permanent. Use quality fuel when you can. Don't run the tank down to fumes all the time, and pay attention to symptoms like hesitation, rough starts, or a noticeable drop in smoothness. Fixing buildup early is way cheaper than waiting until the car feels terrible and needs a big cleanup. German secret number 3. Service the transmission like it's a forever part, because it can be. A lot of VW owners baby the engine and then completely forget the transmission until it starts shifting weird, and by then, it's usually late and expensive. The German approach is the opposite. Treat the transmission fluid as maintenance, not lifetime. Whether it's DSG, automatic, or even some manual setups, the principle stays the same. Fluid breaks down from heat and use. As it ages, it loses protection, shifting gets harsher, and internal wear speeds up, quietly. The real secret is staying ahead of it. Follow the proper service interval for your exact transmission, use the correct fluid spec, and don't let random shops universal fluid your VW. That one shortcut can change how it drives immediately, and not in a good way. If you want serious mileage, smooth shifting is not luck. It's maintenance done on time, with the right fluid, and with the mindset that you're protecting the most expensive drivetrain part after the engine. German secret number 2, replace the cheap rubber and plastic parts before they fail. Hoses, seals, and PCV aren't optional on high-mileage VWs. Here's something German owners understand that most people learn the hard way. Volkswagens don't usually get taken out by a big dramatic engine failure first. They get taken out by a chain reaction that starts with a small rubber or plastic part. A hose gets brittle, a seal starts sweating, a PCV valve gets weak, a connector cracks. It seems minor, so people ignore it, until it causes a vacuum leak, oil consumption, rough idle, boost issues, coolant loss, or check engine lights that send you on an expensive parts cannon hunt. So, the German secret is preventative replacement. When a VW starts getting into higher mileage, you don't wait for these parts to break on the highway or fail in winter. You treat them like wear items, because they are. If your VW suddenly starts idling weird, whistling, running lean, using more oil than usual, or feeling inconsistent under acceleration, don't jump straight to, "My engine is finished." Check the basics first. PCV system, vacuum lines, intake boots, coolant hoses, and aging seals. Fixing these early keeps the engine stable, keeps the turbo happy, and prevents the kind of secondary damage that turns a reliable VW into a nightmare. German secret number 1. Follow the service schedule like a contract, but base it on real driving, not wishful thinking. This is the foundation of everything. The reason some Volkswagens reach insane mileage isn't because they found a magic part. It's because they treat maintenance like a system. A lot of owners do maintenance emotionally. The car feels fine. I'll do it next month. My friend said it can go longer. Germans don't do that. They do it by schedule, and they adjust the schedule to reality. Because real driving is harsh. Short trips, traffic, heat, cold starts, dusty roads, these all wear fluids and parts faster than the perfect conditions the manual imagines. So if you want your VW to last, you stop stretching intervals and start building a simple routine you stick to. That routine looks like this mindset. If the car is due, it gets done. No delaying. If you drive hard conditions, you service earlier, because paying earlier is cheaper than paying later. And you keep records, because high mileage cars stay reliable when maintenance is organized, not random. This is the real German secret. Consistency. When you maintain a VW on purpose instead of when it breaks, it stops behaving like a fragile car and starts behaving like a long-term machine. If you made it this far, you're already ahead of 90% of VW owners, because now you know the real difference between a Volkswagen that becomes a headache and one that keeps going for hundreds of thousands of miles. Pick just one of these German secrets and start this week. Then add the next one. That's how you build a VW that stays smooth, reliable, and strong year after year. If this helped you, do me a quick favor, hit subscribe and join the family here on Volkswagen Hub. I post practical VW tips, maintenance guides, and real-world advice to help you save money and keep your car on the road longer. Drop a comment and tell me what you drive: Golf, Jetta, Passat, Tiguan, and your current mileage. And if you want, tell me what engine you have, TSI or TDI, and I'll pin a checklist recommendation for your setup. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.